Alright, so the team preview is going to be very, very, very short today. It's all based on bulky Charizard X. Mega Charizard X has always been one of my favorites. It's been one of my favorites since ORAS and since its debut. It's just been the most incredible thing. So I built a team around it. A very weird stock offensive Rotom. A very surprised Jirachi set that I don't want to reveal. Good old offensive Ferrothorn. Yeah, right. Of course, good old specially defensive Hippowdon and physically defensive Hippowdon and specially defensive Scizor. Let's get into the games. Alright, the very first game is up against Scald, and I'm leading Rotom Wash and Superior. I'm not interested in taking Leaf Storm, so I switched to specially defensive Scizor to take that. And go ahead and set up a Swords Dance on this dual screening setup here. He goes out to Volcarona. I know he wants an early setup, but I'm like, abort. We have got to whirlwind this thing out of here. Please don't crit me. You're at Quiver Dance, and it's not going to be good. I take 85.2% from Flamethrower, and he gets out Landorus Therian. On this turn, I should have stayed in and gone Ice Fang, but instead I just go out to Ferrothorn, which is a really good play. He surprises me with a prison! And man, he locks out my Stealth Rock. What a great play by my opponent. Power Whip, of course, is going to do abysmal damage to oncoming Superior, who goes for a taunt as I follow it up with a Gyro Ball, and I get a crit. Ferrothorn is not having none of that spiky nonsense. In comes this thing yet again. He sets up 2 Quiver Dances, and let me show you the power of offensive Life Orb Rotom. Yeah, that. 60% to a +2 specially defensive Volcarona. It's fine, I do go down to the Bug Buzz, but that's fine, because I know now it's 2-hit KO by the Sand Stream that I put up by my Hippowdon. Hippowdon going down is fine, he got up Rocks, and now I'm going to go into specially defensive Scizor. I decided to sack Scizor, just to make sure the Volcarona dies to the Sand Stream. Now look at it in the back, he has a Diancie, which I'm assuming to be Mega, and I was like, Manaphy's OU since when? Man, we've really gone back in times. Ferrothorn doesn't care about your Icicle Spear. I'm gonna break your Sash, crit you, because I can, and then you die to the Sandstream. So that's 2 kills for Sandstream, yay for Sandstream. Ferrothorn takes again an Earthquake, proving it's an amazing physically defensive wall, has been since its debut in Black and White, does a significant bit of damage to Landorus, and then goes down. That's completely cool though, because now my Shuckleberry Jirachi takes this Earthquake, and now takes out the king of overused Landorus Therian. Now, I'm not sure where I got the typing in my head for Mega Diancie, but I was like, okay, after Protect, he's just going for Earth Power. Jirachi can't live this, and now Charizard can't do anything to this thing. I was like, even if with Earthquake, I still die. I actually don't run Earthquake. I just die out to a Diamond Storm, or would have died to Earth Power. Alrighty, guys, Game 2 is versus good old Mr. This is my 10th account. We've got the Wishing Star in here versus Magnezone. Magnezone is going to go for a Volt Switch that's 34%, goes out into Clefable, and I get the Ancient Power boost on the Switch with the Serene Grace. I absolutely love it. That is exactly what I was going for with this set. Iron Head doesn't quite kill Kip, so Kip's going to go ahead and put up some Stealth Rock. Takes out Clefable as he goes out into a Walmart Charizard, and I laughed so hard when I saw this. There's a Citrus Berry, and he's like, I got Jirachi down at 74. No, you don't. I have a Shuckleberry and a 2-hit KO you through Multiscale. So now I'm going to Ice Punch the Breloom, who does not Techno Mach Punch. And in comes the Magnezone, who again takes an absolute ton from Drain Punch, and does a pretty good sizable chunk with a crit Volt Switch. He goes out to Hidden Power Ice, and I'm now terrified. There's a Hidden Power Ice Bisharp. I make a terrible play right here, going for the Bulldoze on the Pursuit, forgetting completely about Defiant. So I lower his stats just to upgrade his stats. Sucker Punch fails, I set up Rocks, and basically I want to work around Sucker Punch. And the way to do that is to go out to Hippowdon, who takes a lot from Low Kick. And I just decided to slack this off, and then finally I'm like, you know what? I just need to whirlwind this thing out. Like, this is not helping me at all. So, now, Volt Switch doesn't work. I'm not sure what the predict was. I went for Ice Fang. I'm not sure what my prediction was either, to be fair. He's going to go into Dragon D's Nuts, and I'm going to slack off as he goes into that. He evolves into Mega Charizard Y. Now, before we start, I don't know what the prediction was with Focus Blast, but I just want to address that Scizor is barbecued, Jirachi is barbecued, Rotom gets Solar Beamed, Ferrothorn is barbecued, and Hippowdon dies. So, my entire team dies to Char Y, bar my own Charizard. I just want to keep everybody in the loop here. He goes for Hidden Power something. I'm not sure what this is, because as I go out into this, it's also super effective. So I was thinking it was fire, and I was pretty much confirmed it was fire. I take this opportunity to go into my Charizard for whatever Hidden Power this is, go for Roost, so that I can get my health back. And as he goes out to Bisharp, this is a free Dragon Dance turn. Now, I was telling you guys at the beginning, I'm all about bulky Charizard X. So what I decided to do is, as he's going for these Sucker Punches, I'm going to outplay his Sucker Punches with Roost, so that I don't have to take that damage. Luckily, Charizard is now down to 1 HP, and I'm already at my Dragon Dance. And I'm gonna Roost, because he was like, give me one turn. And I was like, okay, sure. Alright, so Game 3 is up against Harjag Veer 713. Man, that's a mouthful, right? And this is an incredible game, so I actually want to give some shouts to his team, because they're actually really neat. And with that, let's go ahead and get into the game. Alright, he leads Lando Theory, and I decided to lead Rotom because stock Rotom has great coverage on his team. Superior takes an oncoming 38% as I get hit by Life Orb. Once again, not interested in Leaf Storms times 4. I'm going to go out to my specially defensive Scizor, and in that case I would have made a double out into a Hippowdon, which I end up doubling after the fact just to evade Intimidate, so that this knockoff doesn't do anything because I'm not holding an item. Rocky Helmet does hurt me, but 71% on the King of OU, and then hitting a 63% oncoming with the Earthquake on Jirachi, predicting him to go out into Jirachi, predicting me to Ice Punch, and then getting frozen. God, the steel irony of the situation, right? Now in comes Ferrothorn, Drain Punches whatever, that's 34.8%, and Iron Barb's damage to him, so that kind of works. It brings him down steadily but surely. Get up free Rocks, which is going to be helpful against Charizard. I don't see any Defoggers on his team or Rapid Spinners, so that's kind of cool. Drain Punch is fine. I don't know what other coverage moves this Jirachi is actually carrying. Of course, the Drain Punch is only doing about 24%. And again, I'm pretty okay with it because I can just go into... What do I end up going into? I go out into my Charizard here, and then I make a double to Rotom, predicting something, and I get frozen again! Because why not? But Superior would have taken damage had I not gotten frozen, so I'm not taking Leaf Storm, so I'm going out to Charizard, and then I can quad resist it as Charizard X, which I do decide to go into here as he takes the 50%. I set up a Dragon Dance. As he goes to Charizard Y, and I'm already in Dragon Dance, so that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and Dragon Claw this as he brings in a Thundurus. Thundurus has Prankster, so I'm absolutely terrified. He goes for Toxic. Really nice to combine that, especially now that my Sandstream is up to wear down my Charizard. Not sure what Flash Cannon coverage is for. However, I now freeze him. I wanted to give him the cold shoulder. I mean, look at Thundurus' pose. That's basically what he's doing, right? So I slack off and get back to 54 after Toxic Affliction and go out into my Rachi, and I'm like, okay, this is an opportunity for Jirachi, right? This is our time. He goes out to Gar, who, of course, takes 21% with a no boost. Sandstream goes down, 91% to Jirachi because I'm not specially defensive or anything like that. 2-hit KO by Shadow Ball, no boost, no pass and go, no collecting $200. Hippowdon lives it on almost no HP. I was thinking, can I slack off these Shadow Balls and wear him down? But what I decided to do instead is take it, go for an Ice Fang, and hit him down to 7 HP, one after that, and it's going to bring him down after the turn of the Sandstream. Rotom is amazing, lives a hit, takes Sandstream damage, and allows me to KO Gengar in its place. Landorus is down to 17, a really good revengeable range for Charizard. It has knockoff. I was hoping and praying it is not scarfed, which it's not, which means my offensive Jolly Charizard outspeeds it, allowing me to take it down before it kills me with an Earthquake. And looking at the rest of his team, this is free real estate. He thaws out, though, and gets the Toxic on the turn he thaws out, which is really bad. And I'm like, oh my god, Charizard's been poisoned. Will it be okay? So here comes the taunt. I Declaw. He knows he has to taunt me because I can't. If I set up too much, then I kill Jirachi. Hopefully it's offensive Rachi. Luckily, Fire Punch, of course, kills Superior. I am Jolly, so that means my speed is up to... well, it doesn't show after the boost. But luckily, he is not scarfed or any weird set, which allows me to KO the Jirachi. Again, the final thoughts on this. Charizard X is absolutely 150% incredible. Offensive Char X is very strong, but without that bulk, we couldn't have survived that poison. So what have we learned today, class? Bulky Charizard X or Thunder Punch. You're right, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Alright, guys, welcome to the short.